All right, Patrick, I'm on your boat right now. I know you're a busy guy, so I just want to go over quickly how to get the boat up and running. So, in here, in the console, we've got your switch panel down in here. To give power to the engines, you go on both of them. They're actually remote switches. So what they do when you turn those on, the batteries themselves, the batteries themselves, the switches turn on here. So when you turn that switch up, that red switch auto turns on. The yellow switch is an emergency parallel. So what they do is when it senses the batteries are low, those will automatically turn on and it will cross power. You've got a couple of breakers back through here. If you have systems that aren't working properly, this is where you're going to want to come check to see if any of these are popped. There's also breakers. On the other side, it looks very similar. Same thing, red battery switch, yellow battery switch for emergency parallel. Another set of breakers over on that side. Back here in the console, then you have your house battery switch. You push these red ones in, and then you turn it. The green means it's on. You have a DC main. A lot of 32 center owners will keep this off when they're not on the boat, just as a redundancy for nothing to draw power. On is down. If you look closely, you can see it says off, on. You have a series of breakers here. It's not a bad idea. Every once in a while, come and touch them, see if any of them are sticking out. Your VHF radio. Yeah, so in here, and then you also have individual breakers. So if you want to isolate systems and turn them off or on, you can do so with these switches. Your water tank levels. Fresh water is full. Your waste tank is empty. As you can see, it's best to look at, when you look at them from an angle here, it's hard to see them. You want to get right in front of them, and you can see them really, really well. If these aren't lit up, your breakers for your fuel senders are here and here. Your VHF, every time you turn the boat on, your VHF will beep. And it's because it wants an MMSI number. You can go to Towboat US website. If you're a member, it's free. If you're not a Towboat member, it is, I believe, $25. But if you search MMSI registration, you put your name, boat information, do it all online. It gives you I don't think it's an 8 or 9 digit code. You type it into here. It ties this radio to this boat. That way, if you hit the distress button, the distress button here, the Coast Guard knows who you are, what boat you're on, and they know who to look for. Upon startup, your Garmin's look just like that. You hit I agree. Shallow water alarm is set for 3 feet. Anything less than 3 feet, it'll beep at you. Your switch is here at the helm. You've got your horn, cockpit lights that goes up and down. So if we point it up, you can see it's red, and down they go white. So up and red. Up, off is in the middle, down is white. Bilge pumps. Manual bilge is here and here. There's 4 bilge pumps in the boat. And then here and here. There's a little bit of water on that side. There we go, it stopped. Your raw water pump is your salt water pump. So if you want to run your raw water system, you turn that on. You open this up. I'm not going to open it now because water will spray out. But you open that up, turn your raw water on. You have a saltwater fed system to rinse the boat down with. Fish boxes. Your fish boxes down here are not self-bailing. It's sealed really well. They're not self-bailing. and there's nothing in them right now, but if there was water, or if you're fishing and you fill that up and there's, you know, fish gut and blood, they have gulper pumps. So if you turn this on, you can hear it. It grinds everything up and shoots it overboard. Typically, if it rains a lot, there might be a little bit of water that gets in here. It's a good idea to open them, check them, see what's going on. If there's water, like I said, they're not self-bailing. You have to hit the port fish box pump for the left side, for the port side, starboard fish box pump for that side. And we're good to go there. Fresh water, you turn this on, pressurizes the system for the head. This is a very important system for the girls, for the head and the kids. Let's make sure nothing's in here. So, if you want to add water, fresh water needs to be on at the helm. You push this button here. You push this one here, which it has a little symbol. It just adds water, right? If you want to flush, that's flush only. If you want to add water and flush, there's a little light. So that's nice to have. The overboard discharge pump. There's a key. Legally, I think this key should be out, but we'll leave it in until you want to find a home for it. Turn this on, and then you go one more over. And it evacuates into the tunnel. I recommend leaving a little bit of water in the bottom of that, and it'll prevent the impeller in the head from drying up. It's also good, only use in the head, only use marine grade and RV grade toilet paper. It's thinner, it's not great to use, but you have to use it for these toilets because otherwise regular toilet paper will clog it and wreck it. So you have to use the thinner marine and RV grade toilet paper. Freshwater's got to be on to use the head. Once you're done using it, you can turn it off. Also in the freshwater system, you've got a hose in the transom here. So this, as you look here, freshwater hose is right there. So you pull it out, you twist the cap, then water sprays. When you're not using it, leave it off. Port fish box, starboard fish box, same thing on this side here. Live well. Flip the switch on. And it'll auto fill and drain. So you turn the switch on and you let it rip. If you need to adjust the flow, you can do so into here. So you can adjust the water out. You can adjust the drain with this valve here, and then you adjust the water in. I believe it's this valve right here. So if you need to change the water level, or if it's filling up too much, or if it's filling up not enough, you can open and close this. Right now it's fully open, the bottom drain. So that's right here, easy to access in the console. Live well drains out of the side here. So it's not really filling up too fast. So you might want to go ahead and I'm going to close this a little bit for you, so it'll fill up a little more. Let's try that. We'll give it some time. Your keys. I know you said you took the keys. Let me confirm. Yeah, so you took the keys. Single Yamaha key in. Make sure your kill switch is in. If your kill switch isn't in, your motors will not start. Key in. Turn it one click over. Make sure your kill switch is in. Motors are push to start, push to stop. Your motor gauge is right here. Your Yamaha gauge. So this monitors your engines. There's different menus you can click through, with the side, push into the side to select different engine data and things like that. Your windlass can be controlled here, or you can control it right here with these pedals. There's a safety clasp on it right now, so it won't allow it to free fall. Take the safety clasp off when you want to use it. Push the out button, it'll let it go. This is a free fall windlass. So what this does, this will slide out as the windlass is going out. Eventually it'll completely loosen up the clutch, and the rope will run. It goes pretty quick. You do need to keep an eye on your line. So when you're out fishing, if you're pulling a lot of line, you want to pull the line from the center here out to the side, because it will jam up, and it will create a mound here, and it can back up into the windlass, and it's a little bit of a headache to deal with that. So reach in here, pull the line to the side as it's coming up, and you're good to go. You have 300 foot of road, 15 feet of chain. Should be good for just about anything you want to do locally here. Raw water, if you want a saltwater wash down, you've got it right here. You get a little blue coily hose. And when you bring the windlass up, so let me back up. When you're letting it down, this will come out. When you want it to stop letting rope out, you go the other way with it. You hit up. And as it comes up, you'll see this come back in, and it will tighten back up in the clutch, and then you're good to go. If it's really rough, if there's a lot of wind, a lot of current, it's not a bad idea to tie the windlass off to one of these cleats, or tie the line off to one of these cleats, so the windlass here isn't bearing the entire load of the boat in rough seas. Let's see, what else do we have? Accessory switches. I think accessory switch number 2. Let me see. Yeah, so accessory switch number 2 is your underwater lights. Right now, I believe it's in color changing mode. So with it on, the way I just set it, it'll slowly fade from blue to white and kind of go back and forth. If you want it to just stay white, you cycle it off and on. Or if you want it to be blue, you cycle it off and on. Your tank racks here, I'm not going to mess with it because your motors are up, but that platform sits down, tanks come up. It's a pretty sweet system. Pretty sweet system. Back here, tackle storage, and here, freshwater sink. So if your freshwater pump is on at the helm, you got your freshwater sink here. So let's see your live one now. Fill up a little bit more. So we can go ahead and close off that. I'll close off that valve a little bit more for you. Turn that off. Turn that off. Your Garmin's, I'm not sure how well versed you are in Garmin. I'm happy to train you real quick. Basically, your home screen here, you got your main menus on the right-hand side. You can create combinations, charts, nav chart, speeds top left, depth is bottom left, GPS coordinates bottom right, sonar, traditional. To go to your radar, once again, right-hand screen, you can hit single range. Turn your radar on, you hit transmit, XMIT, it spins up. If you need to adjust your gain, it's set for auto high. You can adjust gain, you can adjust your sea clutter, you can adjust for rain. Leave it all off for now until you kind of learn how to use it. Turn the radar off, you hit that. Go back. I'm going through this kind of quick. We'll go over it at some point once you're free. You can get basic engine data right now. It's not going to show anything because we don't have the keys in. But combos here. We'll go back to combos. We can go to combos, menu, add combo. You can add any combination that you want. If you go here to layout, a lot of different layout options. So let's say you want to go to this one. One big one on top, 3 on the bottom, and you literally just tap to add. And here you pick what you want. Charts, nav charts. If we want to add sonar. So what you like to look at, you can create. You can create your own. You can create your own menu here. Hit done. And then there you go, you have your speed, So it's pretty cool what you can do. Same thing on both units. They're fantastic 16-inch screens. Your AM, FM, Bluetooth radios up here. If we hit this side menu to the side here, we hit this button here, and then you go ahead and source through auxiliary Bluetooth. If you want to add Bluetooth, you go here, go to Bluetooth, then you hit this little menu, and then you can add and remove. To add your phone, you need to hit discoverable. Then it will be able to be seen. It'll pop up as MSUD 755. I'm going to go ahead and delete these other ones for you. All right, so you're all cleared up. Just make sure discoverable is on. Then your phone will be able to see it when you go to Bluetooth. Up here, nav lights. If you're up, your red, green, and white overhead is on, right? So when this is up, red, green, your full nav light's on. Center is off. Down is just going to be your white overhead. So when you are underway, when the boat is moving and the sun is set over the horizon, legally you have to have your red, your green, and your white overhead lights on. If you're out at night and the sun is set, legally, if you're not underway, if you're anchored, you need to have this down and just your anchor light needs to be on. Overhead lights, center is off. Up is red, center is off. Down is white. So up, red, middle is off, down is white. Your spreader lights, switch this on, and it's these two big lights back here. So if you're prepping at night or in the morning to go out fishing, turn these on, your whole back deck's lit up. Accessory here is going to be your light bar. So when you're coming in at night, turn your light bar on, you can see the whole canal and see what's going on. Up here, access panel, fuses, probably not anything you're going to mess with, to be totally honest. It's just access to the fuse panel, gives you access to the wiring harness behind here. Word of advice, do not set any electronics near the compass here. It will screw it up, it'll throw it off. Your compass heading on your Garmin's truthfully probably going to be more accurate. Your Optimus screen, when you have key on power, this will turn on. We will go over this together. You run your autopilot from this, you run your heading hold from this. We just wait for us to go out one day and we'll go over that. Same thing with the joystick. Joystick, you hit take command and you move it around. When we calibrated this, it was pretty windy. I kind of want to try it when it's not windy to make sure we did a good enough job on it. But essentially, you hit take command. Whichever way you move this joystick, if you move it to the side, and if you see that the bow is moving a little bit, you push it to the side, and you can actually twist this a little bit to compensate from the bow swinging. If you put it, backwards, you can go backwards, and you want to go back to center. You can go diagonally if you want. Don't, twist the thing like hell. It's just not good for it. So if you are going to the side, then you need to go another direction. Go from the side, go center, wait a second or two, and then you can go the other way, or vice versa. If you're going forward, come center, let the motor come out of gear, and then you can go to the side. If you twist this, the boat should just spin on its axis. Same thing with the throttles here. If you have one motor in forward and one in reverse, the boat will literally just twist. You'll probably need to be about 800 RPMs or 900 RPMs in reverse with 600 RPMs in forward to spin perfect on its axis. The propellers are more efficient in forward. The way cats like to be run in rough seas, if the waves are right at you, it's always best if you can be at a 45-degree angle. That's what these boats like to eat it up. If you're right into the waves, you want to be trimmed relatively low. Like I said, your trim's going to be found on your Garmin gauge here. You want to be trimmed. The engine's trimmed relatively low when you're in a head-on sea. When you're in a following sea, when you're behind the waves, trim up high. You want to be trim up 25, 30, 40%. Get the engines trimmed up high. It keeps the bow high and it prevents any bow steering from the bow digging into waves. When it's calm, when it's dead flat, you can trim up 25, 30, 40% of the way on the motors. This here trims them both, and this here trims them individually. So sometimes one motor will trim a little faster than the other. If you need to compensate, you can trim up and down. If the boat is listing a little bit, if too many people are on one side of the boat, or if you have too much gear on one side of the boat, you can compensate using your engine trim. people like to think of it differently. Essentially, if you trim up the port side, if you trim this side up, that bow is going to drop, or it will raise that bow. People think about it differently. But so if you trim port up, it will drop your port side. If you trim your starboard up, it'll drop your starboard side. If you trim them both up, the bow will go up. So that's just something you got to play with in the bay when it's calm, or in the Gulf when it's calm. It'll be really fun once you learn how to drive the boat. Start easy. If you take it out, before we get a chance to go together, start easy, go slow. Learn the characteristics of the boat before you do, any really sharp turns. But like I said, we'll get out in the next couple of days, hopefully, and I'll train you how to do it. But I wanted to shoot you a quick video and just give you the basic rundown. You can watch this video over and over now, so it'll be yours once I send it to you. One more thing, you got storage in here. Your steering pumps are in here. We sprayed them with anti-corrosion spray, so they should be good to go. That's not a bad idea every once in a while. For long-term boat storage, keep these open, let them air out, so moisture doesn't get stuck in there. Put this cover back on for you. And that should be it. Everything in a nutshell. That's an entire boat orientation in about 21 minutes. So, first one I've done without an owner on. Your fuel tanks, you're full of fuel. You have one fuel tank on each side. Open them up, push this little button on the side, and you close them. When you first open these up, you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it now, but there's a little bit of fuel vapor. Let them air out before you stick the fuel nozzle in to fill it. Same thing on this side. They are completely independent tanks, and you have to fill both. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Completely independent tanks, so you have to fill both. I had a customer recently that did not fill both, and called me wondering why his boat was listing. Your dive tank, open this door, open that up, magnet will catch. Your dive ladder on pretty strong magnets here. Try not to have anyone back here. Sometimes people, will kind of, when they'll lean against it and feel a little bit of tension, don't let them lean too hard, because I haven't had people fall, but it's been close. So, all right, well, that should be the end of it. These here are your fender clips, so we can tie off your fender lines and fenders to those for quick and easy access. Let's see what we got here. Your waste tank. So if you don't use the key inside the head to evacuate the holding tank, you can go to a marina, take this cap out, and actually stick a tube in there and suck it out. I recommend just going at least 5 miles offshore where it's legal. Twist the key in the head over there, and you can just dump it. Water fill. Fresh water fill is here. Like I said, you're full on board, so you should be good to go. Not a bad idea to, if you're going out with the kids, to fill it up every time, just so you've got fresh water and you can rinse off. But that's your boat in a nutshell. Call me, text me. I'm around. I'm always here to answer your questions, and let me know when you want to go out and run her with me.